Hello and welcome. If you are wanting to get an understanding of what it sounds like to actually be coached, trained, and mentored and to review a call as a final expense telesales agent, then stay tuned because this video is exactly for you. This is probably one of the more longer videos that I have posted on my channel, and that is simply because I dissected a complete call. I did bring y'all in right after the underwriting section. However, please pay attention to my script, follow along with it because that is what I am training on. The link is below in the description box. Also, as most of y'all know, if you're not new to the channel, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Ashley. I'm a final expense telesales agent. I've been selling final expense from the comfort of my own home. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I've gotten to a place now where I'm just pouring into other agents. I'm helping other agents master the craft and the skill set. So if you find any value in this, smash that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's jump into the training.
For the first day, and they didn't send you home with.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Just one second.
Oh,
Is toolkits working for you again?
Yeah.
Okay. So try not to let so much dead space. Let your client know what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super silent. So I'd be like, yeah, so 1 second, it's loading. I'm trying to get this in.
3 days. Do you remember what month that was?
what's this, March?
This is March, yes.
Might have been it might have been around February, January, February.
So, like last month or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot it.
Okay.
Did you say
Any other
6:14 for spell?
hospitalizations? Yeah, I think so.
He did. He's going around and about. But Lori still did a good job picking the carrier.
I went to urgent care once.
Urgent care is not a problem. Any other times they've kept you in the hospital overnight?
Not that I can recall.
Okay, all right. What about before the last couple of years? Have you had any other hospitalizations in the
Yeah,
last?
when I broke my ankles and all that stuff.
Okay, were you kept, like, did they?
No, they didn't keep me.
surgery?
They no sir, I was supposed to get surgery. That's why I have arthritis in them right now, because I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
Okay. Any other hospitalizations where they kept you overnight?
Oh, when I did my speech study,
Okay, but, so that was a sleep study where they hooked you up. Okay, any other hospitalizations?
no, that's all I can remember.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You could probably check some kind of way.
Don't worry. When we get to the point where the insurance company is looking this over, they will check, so
Okay.
that's fine. Okay. All right. Have you had COVID-19 in the last 30 days?
No.
Okay, all right. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Lori Lamb. I know with all the crazy stuff going on in this world, you want to make sure that you're dealing with a legitimate person. So I'm going to email you my business card. On there, it's got a photo of me. It's got all of my contact information.
Okay.
And it has my national producer number. If at any point in time you want to check with the state of New Jersey to make sure that I am in good standing, you can. And if you'd also like a copy of my New Jersey license, I can send that.
No.
Okay, all right,
Oh,
great.
I'm not.
Okay, all right. So, in order to shop around, I know you're newly on disability, and I understand how important it is to
that like I can afford?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Be honest with you, I don't really get that much from the disability. I'm gonna say that what I can afford is like $80.
So 80 would be the highest you could afford. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, and does that feel comfortable or does that feel like it's pushing it a bit?
No, that's comfortable for me right there.
How about if we shop around in the $60, $70, and $80 price range? Does that sound good? Okay.
That's very good.
Okay, let me just take a look here real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna pause there for a second. So
Okay.
you got the information that you needed out of this section of the script, right? However, when you ask such a blanket question right there, when we're trying to hone in on a price point, that you could open up a can of worms to where, well, how much coverage am I going to get? They're going to want more information because you're giving all the power in the conversation to the client. So that's why it's structured in such a way to where you can say statements because you're the expert. Now, everyone I work with is on a fixed income. The goal is to make sure we find something that you can afford but also qualify for. Now, everything's sorted in price ranges, so please tell me where to start shopping at. And now I'm going to give him price brackets.
Okay.
So that also lets them be comfortable because you're giving them so many options to be, because also remember, you want to listen for uncomfortable yeses. So if you said 100 to 120, and he was like, oh, no. And you said 80 to 100, he's like, maybe. And then you said 60 to 80. If he were to still show you hesitation, like, oh, yeah, I could, then you would then ask, okay, would 40 to 60 be more comfortable for you?
Okay.
And so you want to take them through that process because you could have gotten slammed in the face with a bunch of stuff right there because you just gave all of the power to him. Like, okay, so where do you want to start shopping at? We don't want to do that. We want to be in control the whole time. And so just follow the script.
Throw out numbers, see what their reaction is.
Yes.
And then take it from there. Okay.
Yes.
Let them see what we have for options.
Okay.
Now, you said you had been shopping already, is that correct?
Yes. I got a couple calls.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, why did you not move ahead with either of those?
I'm just trying to get the best one. Well, there was one that I like I said, it was like $86 for 12,000, and they said it starts from the time you get your first payment. And this one, she said they don't do no hospital background checks and none of that stuff.
Did she say what company that was with?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
He sent their picture too. Let me see. You know her card, I mean.
Okay.
It says, she might be something like you are. It says Rico Life Solutions. Her name Chantina. License associate. What's the name? Colonial Pen.
Okay.
Colonial Pen, now came to me.
Okay, all right. So, if you could just fill me in, what are your thoughts of what you would like this policy to do? Are you interested in cremation or a traditional burial? Are you looking to have a service, or have you thought about it?
You know what? Yes, I thought about it. Just funeral.
With a burial
I think I'm going with the cremation.
Cremation,
Pretty close.
like a funeral, so you have a service and a,
Right.
viewing and that sort of thing. Do you
Yeah, right.
know what that costs in New
I
York?
have no idea.
Okay, let me just take a look.
I think the cremations is up to like 400 or something, I think.
I think it's probably going to be a little bit more than that.
Okay.
Let me take a look.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know. You probably haven't dealt with this before.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I just heard rumors, what they call it.
Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, so it looks like
Were you going to say something, Lori?
I was just going to say, I don't know why it was taking me that long to get that answer to him.
That's okay.
a direct cremation. That means they do the cremation, you don't have any kind of service with it. That would be about $2,500. If you were to do the cremation with the burial and a service, or I don't mean a burial, a viewing and a service, it would run just under $7,000. Okay? So if you were to go for what you are interested in, you want at least $7,000.
Okay.
So I do have a company.
Okay, so let's kind of dissect that whole section for a second. Remember, whenever we're going through the presentation, the goal is to see, remember it's like a poker match. We want to see every single possible card in their hand without unveiling our hand. So we need to make sure we're asking all the questions in the script. The first question is, okay, kind of fill me in, how much coverage were you looking to get? It was okay for you, Lori, because you knew in the beginning that he had kind of been shopping around, gotten some quotes. It's okay to ask that question. Just make sure you're putting your thumbprint where the next question in the script is. I don't know if you asking that and digging deeper there threw you off or not, or if you just, this is a habit that we need to catch and break.
Yeah, when I get to this point, I'm nervous and trying to keep things on track and trying to keep up with the tech part of things.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's the time under tension, right? So the more frequently you do this, the easier it will get. So when we're just reflecting upon it, we'll just make sure that we autocorrect. That way we can keep practicing the right way to do it.
Absolutely.
So just so y'all are tracking, the reason behind that is because we want to get an understanding, because this gentleman has been looking around for a minute. He hasn't purchased anything. You did get out of him Colonial Penn. He was told day one coverage. We clearly know he's not eligible for day one coverage because we just cleared underwriting, and Colonial Penn is a wait period. So it's either he's lying or he's being lied to. We don't know yet, but we need to be the expert in the situation. Also, because he hasn't moved forward, maybe he's wanting like 75,000, 150,000. Maybe he's seeing those ads because he is a little bit younger. He's still in his 50s. Maybe he is wanting something that sounds more like term. So by asking this question, how much coverage were you looking to get? That lets us know, okay, are we hitting a term objection right now?
What his expectations are.
Exactly. So if he were to say 75,000, or he could have said, just like what he got quoted with Colonial, I'm only looking for 12. But we need him to tell us that. We need to know where he's at so we can handle the conversation appropriately. No matter whether it was 75,000, 10,000, okay, kind of fill me in. What were your primary thoughts and concerns that caused you to want that amount of coverage? Because we now know, listening to this whole section, he wanted a cremation. So if his main concern was all I care about is the cremation, well, then now we can tell him, well, 12,000 is way too much for what you need. This is really what you need. And then as you were listening in this section, you were fumbling the ball a little bit when you were trying to cement what we were actually looking for. So it's always about the active listening. He said he wanted a cremation. Then you asked if he wanted the full service with it. He said yes. So when you're giving him the cost, when you asked, how much do you know about how much it's costing? He said what, like $400?
Yeah.
And then you were like, oh, well, it's actually a little more. Then you educated, which was great. You said it's like $2,500 for direct or $7,000 for the full service. Because he told you he wanted full service, you are automatically going to just say, so really what we're needing is the $7,000 in place to cover your full service. And anything above that is extra I love you money. Even though he thought it was $400, he's telling you what he wants and you're telling him the price. Now we need to cement that this is what we're looking for, because he now has the option to say, oh no, that's way too much. I'd rather just go the direct $2,500 route. Okay, so do you see how just like sticking to the script, we've reframed and gotten so much out of this section?
Yes.
Wonderful. But you did a good job there getting the quote and getting like the need, the cremation, the burial. You did good. We just missed a couple of key things.
And before you started, so when I originally started talking to him and my toolkits froze up, he told me he was Direct Express. I had to call him back and I forgot about the Direct Express. And I get to GTO and they're not Direct Express.
Right.
So I was...
But you ended up getting it sorted. He had an account. He said something about having an account by like the 4th or something, right?
Yes, yeah. So we cover all that. I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Okay, gotcha. Let me see here. Play.
That we can work with, and there's some good things about this company.
Okay.
The lady that gave you the quote with Colonial Penn, did she mention that the plan does not pay out a death benefit for the first 2 years?
She did say that. She said that what they'll do is whatever how much you have in, they give you that, and then they add some percentage to it to go with it.
Right.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, okay. So the company that I have, it's called Guaranteed Trust.
Hold on. Did you skip pain and discovery altogether in this call?
I can't remember if I got pain in there.
Okay, because the next step in the script is the pain and the why and explaining the product first, it being a whole life thing. So if this gentleman was actually looking for those term numbers, it could have, I mean, it's good that he was like the Milton, right? We're going to call it the Mildreds and the Miltons of the world. It's cool that he was a Milton and he wanted it and he was ready to move forward, but not everyone's a Milton, right?
Right.
So we need to make sure that we get the pain out of him and that we explain the product, especially since we didn't unveil yet if he might be looking for term. We need to make sure that he knows the type of product we're looking at to help educate that. So let's see where the call goes, but we did skip 2 sections.
Okay.
Life. This is the best plan you will find. Because in the first year, it will pay, if you pass away in the first year, it will pay back whatever you're paid plus 5%. But in the second year, it will pay 50% of the face amount. And then the third year, it will pay 100%. No other company out there is going to offer you the 50% in the second year.
Nice.
Another thing that this company does is they have what's called a Sequoia concierge service. So when you pass away, your loved ones just need to call this number and they will start shopping around as an advocate for your family and the service, and they will make all the arrangements for your family. I don't know if you've lost your parents or anybody.
I just lost my mother too in December.
So you probably know how, when that moment happens, even if you thought about it and known about it, you sort of lose your mind for a minute. You don't know where to turn.
Okay, let's stop there. There's a big
First of all, I should have consoled him for losing his mother.
Right, but also, so here's where we level up in our skill set. Okay, this is like advanced salesman skills.
Okay.
When he said, yeah, actually, I have just lost my mother, you then proceed to say, oh my gosh, so then you totally understand it's chaotic, it's stressful, it's this, it's heartbreaking, whatever you're telling him. Now what we need to do is review our call and say, okay, how do I get him to tell me that those are the feelings that he's feeling?
Okay.
And that's where sales are made. So it would have looked like, first off, complete shock because he threw that out of nowhere. We were not expecting, and that's because we didn't go through pain either, right? We could have gotten that in discovery of pain. But now it's a good time, if you did skip pain, to stop and really relish this moment with him.
Okay.
And ask him, first off, my deepest condolences. I'm so sorry to hear that. Losing a mother has to be like the hardest thing anyone could go through. What was that experience like for you? Were you the one in charge of handling your mom's final affairs? Ask those questions and let him now open up and write your cliff notes. Oh, it was stressful. I had to take out a loan. I had to do whatever, but don't insert emotion for the client ever. Okay. But you did good. I could see where you were going with it, but that is what you did. There's what every other agent does. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's just, everything. And you want to say exactly what needs to be said to make the sale move forward. However, you need to figure out how to get him to tell you. And then you repeat back.
Honestly, I feel like I got a buyer on the line. If it would have been somebody else that I needed to go through all these steps that you're talking about, it would make the difference between the sale and not.
But be careful because I'm telling you, there's fake Miltons everywhere. You're gonna start to feel like this guy, he might feel like a buyer, but remember, he's been looking around, he's been getting quotes. He even had someone's name and their card, and he didn't buy from them. He could be a fake Milton. And if I don't take him through everything, I could be like the other agent, feeling good about the call and then losing the sale.
Yes.
So no matter, even if it's our Mildreds and our Miltons, take them through the whole process, because regardless, when you get off that phone call with them, even if they were like ready to buy from the first sentence, they're gonna feel so well cared for.
Yeah, and it's not like I knew he was gonna buy, so
right.
I need to go through all of this.
Yes, yeah, and it's hard too when you're first on the calls, because your emotions, like you're receiving what they're saying, but you're also trying to process toolkits and making sure your quoter tool's open
and trying to be professional during all
professional and active listening, while not trying to skip a beat and in getting everything out that you need to get out. So it is very overwhelming, but it's good. This is why we have to review and dissect, so that we can say, okay, I can now acknowledge how I felt, because you know how you felt during this call in this moment. Now you can reflect upon it and be like, okay, I felt like this, I heard this, but now I understand that even when those feelings come up, I still need to go back to the core of it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's keep going and see where this goes.
And it's really nice for your family to be able to make this phone call, and they've got an advocate working on their behalf.
Okay.
So with this plan, with Guaranteed Trust Life, for a base amount of $8,000, that's our starter plan.
Okay.
Which would cover everything that you're looking for. It would give you the cremation, the viewing if you like one, and the service. You would have enough money to cover that.
Okay.
And that premium would be $59.83 a month. That's $59.83 for $8,000 of coverage. Okay. Now the second option, this is really what most people go with. It's considered our premium plan.
And I'm not sure why I said that. I just pulled
This
that
would
one out.
include a base amount of $9,500. The monthly payment amount would be $70.21. So that's Brian, I'm not really sure if I would recommend this to you. It may be more than what you're looking for. But it would be
But just to hear it, I would still hear it out, but yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'd still like to hear it out, though. Just hear it.
Okay. So for this base amount, it would be $11,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the monthly payment amount would be $80.58. Now, I have a question for you, Andre. If anything were to happen tomorrow and you had not gotten anything taken care of, who would be responsible for going to the funeral home and making all of the arrangements?
Okay, so
I threw that in at the end.
yes. Now, but here's the thing. This is a good learning moment. Once you have passed the flow of pain and everything, when you guys give numbers, the game is over. Remember how I said, and how I always say, imagine it like a poker game, right? And you want to know every single card in their hand. When you give numbers, you're folding. Everyone's putting their hand on the table. The game's over. You can't go back. You can't ask questions. It's over. So always keep that in mind. We'll keep listening. Before we listen to kind of where you end up taking the conversation from here, because I know you do get the sale, I kind of want to just swim in how you pitched the numbers for a second.
Okay.
Because there was no pain, it's hard to, because remember, whenever we're pitching numbers, we want to attach how it's going to fit their need and serve them. We didn't have pain, so we don't know who the beneficiary is. We don't know, if they're trying to avoid pulling money from a savings or what have. We just don't know. So what I would have done with the information that you did have to add more weight to the pitch is I would have said, okay, so this first option we have here, this is their starter plan. Okay. This is going to do, what was the starter plan again? I didn't write it down. Was it?
The amount?
Yeah.
It was $59.83 and I think it was $8,000.
8,000. Okay, perfect. 8,000. So the starter plan, Milton, this is going to do exactly what you need it to do. Okay. This is going to cover the cremation, but not only the cremation, the full service with the cremation. So the viewing and the ceremony. So no one's having to come out of pocket to cover your burial. And this is actually going to leave a little bit of I love you money left over. There's going to be about $1,000 to go to your loved ones. Okay, I would have said all of that. Then I would have said this is for $8,000 for X amount a month.
Okay.
Then I would have gone into the most common. Okay, so this next option, this is actually the most common options families typically will go with. This one will do everything the starter plan did. However, it's just leaving extra I love you money. This option leaves X amount of extra money and it is for X amount a month.
Okay.
Now the next option, Milton, not really sure I'd recommend this for you. I think it's honestly too much coverage than what you actually need, but you just kind of let me know. This option is for X amount for X amount.
Okay.
But instead we just rammed him numbers. We just threw it out on the table and there was no weight to it. And so especially when you guys hear that someone's been saying, I have been shopping around, you have to be different than every single other person they've been talking to, because if there's a chance that Milton's going to keep shopping around. Shoppers like to shop, they like to click on buttons, and they're going to be getting more quotes in the future. Even if what they have they think is the best, they're going to question it if we don't walk them through the whole process and we're not the expert. When we walk them through the process and we quote the numbers in such a way where it's pain and they know their exact need is being filled in the exact way that they need it, that's it, game over, they're done. Lori is their agent for life. But we got to take them through the process. We got to get them to open up about pain.
Right.
Okay. Any questions on that, Joe?
No.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's keep listening and see where we go from here.
My wife.
Your wife, okay. And without anything in place, how would that be for her? Would she have the money and be able to afford to do
Well,
that?
what it is, she won't probably have it all, but I have a big family.
Okay, so your family might get the help.
Yeah.
Okay, and how would you feel about that?
I'll be gone. I don't know. No, I don't want to put the burden on. I don't want to put no burden on nobody because everybody's got their problems, their struggles,
Yep, I get it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, considering your family and your needs, which of those three plans that I just offered might be best for you?
So again, lean in always on the script. You got to start practicing, Lori, to keep your thumb on the script because now you're going back to the close question. So Milton, just kind of understanding, and you should have, and again, we're so out of order from the script, but whenever you're out of order, if you're adding and you're trying to backtrack, make sure you're backtracking and you're sticking to the script, right? In the sense of you got the pain from him. We never took away, so he has a backup plan. He has his family there. He can recover some of it. So we needed to squash that, which is why we needed the discovery piece. Because if his budget gets too tight, when he gets that first Social Security paycheck that he's expecting, he might realize, oh crap, I can't even afford this. But that's okay because my family will help out. So we needed to squash that objection. And then he's gonna be gone, he doesn't know. So when someone's like, I don't know, I'm going to be gone. I don't know the resolve. It's kind of like, okay. So kind of like walk me back here. So I have an understanding. Your family could help your wife out. You said your wife doesn't have it all. So it sounds like she has some of it. I guess if your family can help out and your wife has some funds, why do you need the insurance at all? We have to stop and swim in those. But even with what you just captured there, Lori, before you moved to the closed question, you could have regurgitated it back, repainted the picture, that repeat moment. Okay, so it sounds like, Milton, as a husband, you're concerned for your wife. Right now, she doesn't have all of the money. She would have to lean on her family, but you just as a husband and a family man don't want that burden because everyone's going through stuff. You don't want to put that burden on anyone. Is that correct? Yes. And repeat everything back so he can say yes. Okay, now remember your thumbprint. You've got to ask the closing question properly. Okay, so you just kind of let me know, Milton, just as a husband, which option do you feel gave you the most peace of mind that you wanted to see if you could get approved for? And then he can make a decision. You gotta keep it all in the emotional state. And it's hard because you skipped all the emotion and rammed it at the end. But you still could have recovered and followed the script and gave it some kind of structure. Okay. So let's hear what happens next.
What did you say that $59 one again?
Okay, so that's an $8,000.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And that's $59.83 per month.
Okay. And what's that? That's for the what now? The cremation?
Yes, that would cover.
Do you see how he doesn't have clarity on what it'll do for him because we never explained it?
Yes.
Okay.
In your area, that would cover your cremation.
Mm-hmm.
And a service and a viewing if you would like to do something like that.
Mm-hmm. A viewing means.
Typically what happens is if you opt for cremation, they can prepare your body for viewing and
do the cremation after that. I like that.
Okay, do you see where, because we didn't really, we were lost in the funeralocity section, that now it's an issue because there's not proper clarity from him?
Yes.
So we got to make sure in each section we're getting that clarification to make sure he knew that the viewing this ceremony is for the $7,000 because we left it off on a $2,500 to a $7,000 range. And so now he still is not really sure, like, okay, well, he's probably thinking, well, do I need the $2,500 or the $7,000? Where am I at right now? What is this covering? He has all these questions. And we don't ever want our people to be that confused at the end. So make sure we got clear understanding of everything.
I like that.
Okay. So with the first option, you should be able to accomplish that.
Yeah, not only that, that's very comfortable for me.
Absolutely.
Very
down
comfortable.
Down the road, if you ever want to add to it, you can.
Yeah.
But I'm a big believer believers, let's go with what's affordable.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Like that.
Okay, now.
I don't have to get no more calls from nobody else. We can do this right now.
Good.
Okay, this sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go to the insurance company website and we will go through the application. We'll find out if you are approved for this.
Okay.
You don't have to pay for anything today. We can set it up for a future date when it's comfortable.
Okay. On the 4th.
Okay? On the 4th, is that what you're saying? Okay.
I get on the 3rd, but I just want to, give it, I don't want to be running around on the 3rd. I was like, oh, but this is over the phone. This is, debit card. Debit card, right?
Yes.
As far as the payment. It's electronic. Okay, well, we can do the 3rd or the 4th, whichever one. 3rd.
Okay, good.
Say the 3rd.
All right. Just 1 second.
Okay, so make it a practice when you guys are walking yourself through the script and you're working on opening up toolkits and all these different windows. Again, I get it, Miss Lori, like we're in learning curve phase. But when you are getting to the point where you are quoting numbers, you want to, on toolkits, it's just that button, E-app. You just click the button on toolkits, it will open up the window. Start to make sure you're logged in so that when you get a response like Milton and he's like, done, sign, seal, deliver, let's go, you can simply ask the first question, okay, and your first legal name is Milton, correct? Let's see if we can get you approval. It's never a good place to be to prep, okay, well, let me open up this site and let me do this, because what will happen when you don't have Milton on the phone, they're gonna say, oh, well, I don't have time right now, call me back. They're gonna think that I gotta give you another half hour and you're gonna lose them. They're gonna wanna book an appointment. So we gotta make sure that we can flow directly into an application without skipping a beat. So that's something to work on and practice too.
How long does it take to get all this stuff together?
So the goal is for you to get very comfortable within just a couple of weeks, because the idea when you are first coming out and you're hitting the phones and you're dialing, and I know next week you're really committed to like a full week of dialing and your leads are picking up. It is like literally your goal is to get in as many presentations as humanly possible. Like I would love to see you get 6 presentations in a day. And that means quoting 6 people. That means don't stop. Don't let up off the gas. Make it a 10, 12-hour day because you're learning. And the only way to get comfortable with all these steps and all these windows is to do it over and over and over and over again. Fall down, do the next time, do it again, fall down, do it again. And eventually, it's gonna be, honestly, doing it so much, y'all, it's just mundane. It's like going to work. You're like, okay, like I'm gonna, now where's my motivation to do this? I can go through a whole presentation now and like literally write out a grocery list and still do cliff notes while I'm in a presentation, because it's just, you do it so many times, right? And you'll get there. You'll get there, but in the beginning, trust me, you're like on high alert, your stress is high, you're left, you're right, you got all these things going on. Just keep putting pressure on yourself, okay?
Okay.
Awesome.